The defendant is a former professional ballerina. There she is, Ashley Benefield, accused of murdering her estranged husband, Doug, back in 2020. She claims she shot him in self-defense. We know at the time they were locked in a bitter custody battle. The couple was married for less than 2 weeks after their first meeting, they married quickly. A 13-day courtship is what these two had. And they were living apart at the time of Doug's death. On the stand right now is witness number 11 for the state, if you're counting. He's a lieutenant with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Daniel Dickerman is his name. He was going through kind of his background and some procedural things. Let's go in now and hear about the date in question.
We'll need to go.
And just discuss a little bit how you work as a unit, and is that different than how a detective may work in a different part of the sheriff's office?
Yes. In the sheriff's office, most cases are assigned to a single detective. They go out, they do all the work, they write the report, they bring everything together in a normal, a smaller case. In these cases, we determine what we call a lead detective. That lead detective then becomes, for all intents and purposes, the supervisor of the case. He makes assignments, we go out, all the other detectives, we do our respective assignments, we report back. The lead detective becomes a basic gathering point and a keeper of all the information to make sure the flow goes smoothly to one location and we're not duplicating efforts or stepping over each other's toes, and then he makes the ultimate decision once he has all the information.
Okay. And are you, as a unit, a part of any decision-making that happens within the unit or that happens in a case?
Yeah, we have meetings on every case to discuss the comings and goings and the happenings of the different case.
And so did you work in this unit, the MHIU, at the time that this shooting occurred?
I did.
On the date of the shooting, were you called, were you notified of the shooting?
I was.
Okay. And about what time was that, approximately?
It was between 7:30 and 8 p.m.
Did you go to the scene?
I did.
And when I say the scene, where the shooting happened?
Yes, to the neighborhood of White Rock, I believe it was.
Was the defendant there?
Yes.
Where was she?
She was in the back seat of Deputy Burley's patrol vehicle.
Did you go into the house?
Not at that point. I did after the crime scene unit had already documented everything and made sure nothing could be contaminated, done their investigation inside. Then I went in briefly at the end. Okay,
and what did you see?
I saw some blood trail on the floor, a bullet strike in the wall of the bedroom from a projectile, and that's about it.
And were other members of your unit there at that scene?
Yes.
Were there other members of the unit at other scenes or other places?
Yes. Detectives were also sent to our main offices, Criminal Investigation Division, which is where our interview rooms and our offices are located.
Okay. And from the beginning of when you arrived on scene, you knew that there was a self-defense element of this crime.
Sustained.
Did you know there was a self-defense element when you got there?
Object for leading. I'll overrule on that.
Yes.
Okay. While you were at the scene, were you made aware that the defendant was going to be going to the station?
Yes.
Okay. Was the defendant's mother, Alicia Byers, there?
Yes.
Did you speak to her?
Yes.
And at some point, did she hand you a phone?
She did.
Okay. And did you know why she was handing you the phone?
Originally, no, but then I found out shortly after.
Who was on the phone?
A lawyer.
Okay. And did you speak to that lawyer?
Object. Sustained.
Did you explain to Alicia Byers what was going on and where her daughter was going to go?
I did.
And ultimately, how many lawyers ended up at
Relevance. If you want to approach and explain the relevance.
All right, we got another sidebar. That's what those headphones are for. The defendant can listen in to what's being argued at the bench outside of the jury's hearing. I have in the studio with me a very special guest. So pleased to have in here Daryl Cohen with me. Daryl was a prosecutor in Florida at one time. He's been in the private sector doing criminal defense work for a long time and entertainment work, has a lot of celebrity clients. Daryl, your thoughts so far on this prosecution? Anything that you're thinking as you're watching them in action presenting their case?
Well, first of all, I know it's self-defense. It sort of seems like self-offense to me. I like the detective that's testifying. I think he's doing a really good job. I like the defendant, our Black Swan defendant. She has the appropriate look. Her hair is good. She's got enough makeup on to make it look like she's not wearing any makeup. And she's got the facial expressions, the body language. So I like this trial. There's nothing bang about it yet, but I like the trial. I like the way it's going. I like the flow of the trial.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, and there is a big mystery to it, isn't there? You know, and some courtrooms you see a lot of fireworks. Here it's more like tension, right? There's definitely tension in that room, it seems, over what happened to Doug Benefield. We saw the sidebar ended, and we're going to see more of the questioning of this witness, this lieutenant. Let's see what more he has as he arrived at the scene. Daryl, let's watch.
When was she arrested?
Sometime in November.
Okay. And the shooting happened?
In September.
Okay. And that seems to be a month or two delay. Do you know what delayed that?
But for the investigation to continue into the self-defense claim.
Okay. Did you go to the neighbor's house, John Sant?
I did go there briefly, yes.
Okay. And did you have any discussions with him or anyone?
I did not, no.
Okay. Was Child Protection Services on the scene?
Yes, they were called to the scene.
And just briefly, what is Child Protection Services?
Objection. Relevance. Consistent with the court's prior concern, 403.
Overruled.
What is Child Protection Services?
At the time, it was a division of the sheriff's office entrusted with protecting the children from abuse, or make sure they're in good locations, or just make sure they're healthy.
Okay. So do you know why they were there?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did CPS try to speak to Alicia Byers?
Yes,
Okay. Were you present when
Yes.
Alicia Byers?
yes.
Was Alicia Byers cooperative with them?
I wouldn't say fully cooperative. She did ultimately answer a vast majority of the questions, but not cooperative per se.
Okay. And was there anyone else present at the time when they were trying to speak to Alicia Byers?
Off and on, Barbara Russell was present.
Did you also assist in executing a search warrant?
Yes, I was on scene
And where was that search warrant? Was that at the house?
at the house.
Okay. Did you have any assignments for gathering evidence?
Yes.
And what evidence was that?
To originally look for video in the area of the park of the neighborhood.
And did you do that?
I did.
Were you able to obtain video?
I was.
And on that video, did you see what we believe to be Alicia Byers and the child at the park?
Yes, they were at the park.
Okay. Did you also obtain other types of videos?
Yeah, I also viewed ring video from the scene itself.
Objection. Relevance.
What video?
Ring from the
Ring.
scene.
Overruled. I mean, you could say he viewed it.
Okay. And in viewing that, did you see any part of the incident that we're here about? Was it captured on the Ring camera?
The shooting, no. The arrival of the U-Haul and the arrival of the deputies were on there.
Okay. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Cross.
Good morning, Lieutenant.
Good morning.
So through your testimony, among other things, the state proved this morning that there was a U-Haul truck there
Yes.
and that the deputies arrived
Yes.
and that there was a homicide.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that often the practice is when you respond to a homicide, it takes some time to conduct an investigation to determine if there's criminality.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in other words, you don't come upon a homicide and determine as soon as you see a dead body it's murder.
Correct.
Okay. If I wanted a job in your unit that you supervise and I felt all homicides are murders.
Objection.
Fair question, Your Honor.
Objection. Pretrial ruling.
Sustained.
You mentioned that the arrest of Miss Benefield, well, let me start from, I think you told us she was in the back of the squad car.
Yes, sir.
She was in handcuffs.
Yes.
And this is a squad car with the doors that you can't open from the inside and the back, correct?
That's correct.
With a cage.
Yes.
So she's in the back of the squad car, in handcuffs behind her back,
Yes.
in a car with a cage, and you can't open the doors, but she wasn't under arrest.
No, she wasn't charged with anything.
Okay. So, I think you told us that the reason for her being arrested approximately 6 weeks later, I think, was so that the investigation could be conducted.
Correct.
Because you had to determine if there was criminality.
Correct.
Okay. Could have been a homicide that was self-defense.
Could have been. That was the claim.
That's the whole point of the investigation.
Absolutely.
And that kind of an investigation, understandably, takes time
It does.
and patience
Yes.
and professionalism
Yes.
and knowledge and experience.
Yes.
Do you know how old Lieutenant Alicia Byers is?
I don't.
Do you recall meeting her?
I do.
Approximately, give us your best shot.
I mean, I would guess in her 40s to 50s.
All right. Was she a young woman?
No.
She was pretty exhausted that day, wasn't she?
She appeared to be. There was a lot going on.
Yeah. Would it be a fair statement, Lieutenant? You seem like a pretty straight guy. Was she emotionally distraught?
Yes, there's a lot of emotions going on there, yes.
Yeah.